Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2017. Not bad, I like that. You are keeping your spirits up, I like that a lot. I also like the fact that there are rows of fans ready to welcome our next two teams. Fantastic support. It is our third quarterfinal, it's just around the corner. Our next two teams have arrived here very differently. One has had a 3-2 record, one has a 3-0 record. One has former ESL One, having been the runner-up last year right here in the Lanxess Arena in Cologne. The other has already achieved their best position at an ESL One, but they are not done yet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome FaZe Clan and Team Liquid. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the third quarterfinal. It's FaZe Clan versus Team Liquid.
The European All-Stars, FaZe versus Team Liquid.
We get into it, quarterfinal number 3. We've already got 2 semifinalists figured out. We're about to get a third. Liquid went 3-0 in groups, but they go up against a team that has been in every final since adding Nico.
Absolutely, this is going to be one hell of a game. We've got two of the most skilled players in the entire tournament on the server right now. Elige versus Nico. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be high pressure Counter-Strike coming in as well. I'm excited. I do think FaZe have the upper hand, especially in the map pool right now. I think Overpass is a lock-in for them. Train is where it gets interesting though. If Liquid could show up there, maybe we do have a 3-map series on our hands.
I think a 3-mapper could be very likely. Overpass picked up to start it off could be actually the key for Liquid, because FaZe haven't looked unbeatable on Train as we have seen, in the past. Optic obviously beat them on it. That was a bit of a surprise.
Then you got 4 rounds in their CT half.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty bad. Some horrible decisions being made mid-round. They seemed like they're a little bit discombobulated as a unit. But like I said, on Inferno against North, they seemed like a revitalized team. They seemed like they actually brought it back to what we're used to seeing in these big stages of the tournament. That was much better. So I'm hoping that's the FaZe it turns up today. It's always exciting when they're playing their absolute best. They look like they're an unstoppable machine. But Liquid, as we've said, I think the addition of Twist as well, I think he looks fantastic. We used to talk about the partnership of Nitro and Elige. I think it's more Twist than Elige now. I think he is one of the kind of talisman of the team so far, and hopefully he can step up here as well. A very skilled individual, only 17 years of age, Matt. It's kind of nuts to be performing at that level at such a young age.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable to be performing so well at such a young age. The stars of the future, we're into a new generation of Counter-Strike. Phones are being passed in. And players will be readied any second. JDMO was sitting on the end with the same bandana that Moses was spotted wearing about a week ago at the the major qualifier.
That's right. It's a Lounge Nation bandana as well. Like it's a Dome 1. It's pretty cool.
Interesting. Interesting as well with the hat rule. Does the bandana still qualify?
I think at some point it does count as headgear. I think that's the rule.
It does keep.
I think he will take it off. He keeps it on as long as possible.
I was going to say it does lift the headphones a bit. So yeah, I'd imagine he would take it off before they go on. They also Nitro wearing the Shure in-ears, which are very, very noise canceling on their own. So there'll be no sound going through to him. But that said, you're right. We are into a new generation of Counter-Strike. Very young players getting onto these stages these days, compared to even 3-4 years ago when we first jumped into CSGO.
It's great. We've mentioned Twist as well. Then you've got to think about Rops from Mouse Sports. That his names that on 2 years ago were non-existent, right? They were only like 16 years old, and now they're coming to deep in tournaments. It's actually really exciting to see this new wave of Counter-Strike players coming through. Like for someone like me who's been playing for the last 15 years, to have like new names going through is always really exciting, right? The new generation players that are pure CSGO players as well. Never played any other iteration, not 1.6 or Source, and it kind of lends itself to them, I think. Like, I don't have any bad habits from previous games, and it's really cool to see that come through. So, Matt, one thing I wanted to discuss in this as well. Alu, for me, he hasn't looked amazing. One of the AWPers, of course, going up against JDM. That's always an interesting battle. I think Alu is one of the more intelligent AWPers we have, like especially on maps like Inferno as well. Super aggressive, calculated aggression, I call it. But JDM's been playing very well recently. Everyone's been saying he's looked more assertive and actually opening up the map a lot for his team.
That was an issue that on CLG, JDM certainly had, and he was a little more free on that team even than he was in the early stages of Liquid when Hiko was still around, when obviously they had in-game leading issues for a period of time and no one really wanted to take over that role. And it seems now either Stanislaw has let him run free or is still maybe whispering in his ear, but giving him the right direction, understanding how to utilize his skill sets, because they always have needed an assertive op on this team. They've got great entry potential in Elige and Nitro on the T side. Fugly was someone who used to bring a really efficient CT player to them, and that's kind of something that's gone away from them in some respects. So Twist coming back in has filled that void, but the CT side, therefore, if you don't have that anchor, has to have a CT-sided op that is very proficient.
We can mention the in-game leaders as well. Let's talk about the kind of performance we've had from Stanislaw. Brought in to be the leader of this team, and he's actually the highest rated player in the entire tournament. Matt. That's something we don't really often say about in-game leaders. There's obviously this kind of, I guess, stigma attached around them. If you're the in-game leader, you can't be a high fragger. It kind of limits your play. I've never agreed with it. I think that's more of a kind of, I'm not sure, like a rumor almost, like to say like, oh, that has to be the case. I don't think so at all. I think if you can't handle being an in-game leader and frag at the same time, I think that's a bit of an issue and you shouldn't be in that role. But Stanislaw's stepping up and looking tremendous, I have to say.
I think it's a balance, right? So if you are not going to be able to frag, you have to be the most clever in-game leader in the world and have the absolute best coming out from the other four. If you're an in-game leader that's not that clever, that's not that dynamic, and you bring some structure to the team, but you aren't doing anything so creative that catches off the opposition, well then you have to have some fragging. It's a balance. I could see the best in-game leader in the world not fragging and maybe getting away with it, but that's it. That's the exception. Anyone else needs to be able to do their own job. It's a 5-man team for a reason.
Looks like we're almost ready to get into it. Obviously, you have their team huddles beginning. FaZe looking to prove themselves after coming through to the playoffs in the 5th round as well. They're one of the absolute favorites in this tournament. Up and down, 2 big losses there, especially the one against Optic. That sticks out tremendously, considering Optic are a team that didn't make it past the major qualifier. Looked much better this tournament as well, much more confident, I would say. But FaZe, they've been so sketchy throughout the tournament. And I hope they can see the best team come forward today. But Liquid certainly put up a good fight here. And I'm having a look. It looks like we'll be starting on the CT side for Liquid, FaZe on the T side. I certainly favor them on this map. Spirits seem high, the smiles are out, and we'll see how this one undergoes. You can see Robin behind them as well. Of course, Zeus. A recent addition, I would say, to Liquid. It's been a few months now, but still working with the team. We've had a few tournaments under their belt now. He seemed very stressed out the major qualifier, I have to say.
Yes, absolutely seems stressed out. I think after the loss against Flipside, it was the last match of the entire event, so we were walking outside ourselves, and he was bolting out the door.
Yeah.
Into what was actually bolts outside. It was the most dramatic thunder and lightning in a while.
I think it's one of those things that he wants to have more input with the team. He wants to be calling for them and helping out as much as he can. I think he was even saying to me, like, the fact is, if he had more input to have instead of just 4 timeouts, he would actually be able to tell them what's going wrong and kind of fix the mistakes. When he has a timeout available, they seem to win. And I think it's just a bit of frustration in that regard. But still a very experienced coach, of course, was previous part of the SK/Luminosity guys, and 2 majors under his belt. Kind of those results speak for themselves, I think, and that's why he was brought in for this team.
So any second, we'll be underway. It seems as everyone's ready. Our traditional ESL One trophy. There's been a number of those handed out over the years.
Yeah, such a cool venue. Amazing tournament. So much history here. This is my 3rd one now. Definitely one of my absolute favorites in the calendar. Hopefully we can have the crowd riled up as well. Blow the roof off, perhaps.
Figuratively, of course.
Yes. That wouldn't really work.
Well, JDM is the last in which we are waiting for, I've been told.
Probably taking the bandana off, I'd imagine.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely taking the bandana off. He has to do it in a very precise way.
Yeah, well, the guys on the desk were discussing on the CT side, of Overpass. You need that calculated aggression. You need to get in their faces.
Absolutely.
It will be Liquid starting on the CT side. I think they can't respect FaZe too much. They need to get in their grills and start actually battling them. And hopefully we do see that come from them, especially with the man in screen right there. JDM, he needs to step up here. He needs to go toe-to-toe with Alu towards middle, changing his position every single round. That's what we need from the top Hawkers on Overpass. That's how they carry the games. And we'll see if that comes through. If they look cagey and FaZe have full control of the map, then that's going to be a massive problem. They'll probably get stomped here. But hopefully it's the good Liquid we've seen so far, the 3-0 Liquid. It's a little bit frustrating going 3-0. You come up against FaZe, one of the world's best teams, top 3 team. But that's the way it happens sometimes, and you need to overcome it. You're going to have to beat them anyway to win the tournament. So might as well get it out of the way now, you know?
Well, we'll see if they can. Again, I think FaZe will be an awoken beast at this point in time. We've seen championship teams before, namely Fnatic as well, when they were in their dominant era, struggling group stages, and rise to the occasion. Traditionally as well, we've seen very, very good North American group stages that have fallen flat in top 8 formats. So definitely both things are possible. Kerrigan, I know, has looked very frustrated. But there we go. The battle horn, I believe that is. Is that what we're calling it?
We're going to call it that, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the third quarterfinal of the day, Team Liquid versus FaZe. The map is Overpass. Make some noise as we get into the pistol. It's going to be FaZe with 4 sets of armor here. Smoke and flashbangs for Kerrigan and Liquid. 1 kit available for Stanislaw here. And we'll have a look at the initial setups and see whether Alish can open things up. He looks like he will go aggressive here. This could be a straight-up B rush. We do have players towards short and Monster Tunnel. Twist waiting for them towards that short area, though. And the boost is there for the CT side, but Kerrigan goes down first. Twist opening things up. A Rain, quick response.
Quick response indeed. Alu's already in through Monster. They're going to continue to push onto the B site. Nico as well is waiting for rotations in the lower tunnels, so he should catch off Alish. At least spot him and give Rain the information so Rain can take battle and take him down. That gives Alu more space in the site to work with Rain and Keo to get the bomb down as they put all efforts back into that direction. JDM forced back to where the jungler is going to try and get a shot from long. Does manage to hit Nico, but last alive, no kit to work with. 1 versus 3, 3 kills already for Rain alone. JDM's going to have to hit pretty much every shot instantly if he wants any chance at getting to the defuse. Kiyoshima's had enough of that. FaZe will pick up round 1. Pistol round T side, good start. And a force buy with an elected smoke from Twist. JDM stays off the armor. Obviously, they go to the AWP, but they elect not to bring out a kit, which sometimes you'll see to go with the force buy in case things get awkward. We've seen that lots.
There's a reason why Liquid stack towards long. That's the most common area to go as FaZe on these anti-ecos. You've got the rifles here. When you use that range to your advantage, so Liquid are anticipating that. Look where they are, right by the rocks as well. Hoping the flashbang comes over, they could overwhelm any Liquid players, FaZe players I should say, and then hopefully find that first frag, push them back. But for now, FaZe aren't actually heading towards long at all. They're still in their default. They're remaining, is trying to find that first pick, get any sort of information they can. Kiyoshima watching towards Monster for anyone pushing that area of the map. They're going towards Connected though. Kerrigan still in the playground with the bomb. So CTs will hold up for now. They haven't really been given much to work with whatsoever. Hoping these CZs can deliver. Kerrigan needs to be very careful. He has got the bomb. If he goes on that corner, he's dead.
Yeah, very, very careful indeed. Instead, though, they push through bathrooms and wrap back around. So they have found Stanislaw, who is waiting behind the tree. They'll spot out JDM, who thinks, okay, if they've gone that way, maybe I can do the same in reverse, and pushes out to the fountain. They know Elise is the last alive in the same position. It's all been sorted. It's all been dealt with. No kills yet for Liquid.
Yeah, this is very good stuff there from FaZe. Slow default is what we like, Matt. We don't want to see any rushes. We don't want to see 5-man pack run into a potential crossfire. Spread out, get control of the map towards middle, bathrooms as well, checking long. Everything was calculated there, and you can see they take a bit of damage, but 1 player will drop. That's Alu, but the bomb should be planted quite safely. They know where 1 CT player is now. Nitro could cause a bit of damage with that gap in the smoke. Probably won't win the round, but he can keep FaZe modest at least. Trying to find the head there on the bomb side, but there's 1. Okay, now it gets interesting. 3 on 2 now.
Nitro. Peek out, can't do it, Rain. It's the shot instead. So 2 kills after the bomb goes down makes this a lot more expensive than it originally looked. So decent work from Nitro and Twist. Twist will try and do a little bit more, add to that total by Nico being on 8 and Rain being on 43. There is a slight chance he could, but he'll give that up. He wants to keep the armor. So concedes the round. 2 kills, fair enough. Alu being one of them, though. Keep in mind, he had a MAC-10 and got 2 kills with it, so he's already building toward his AWP.
He's fine. It's paid off the debt for his MAC-10, right? So he's absolutely fine with that. It's going to be a full eco next round for Liquid. So FaZe looking in a pretty decent position here. They will have, of course, money to balance things out, get the AKs out potentially. Alu might take a pistol here and get the AWP in the next round. That would make sense. He's actually thrown over the MAC-10 from the previous. So 4 AKs. Cheeky Glil there as well, beg your pardon. And Alu trying a chance to find some more frags here with the MAC-10. $600 per kill with that weapon. So Twist, he saves his CZ and head armor, but in terms of what the plan is for Liquid here, I think they're going for a B stack. And that's why I always say, do not rush B on the T side of these anti-ecos. You could run into that and find yourself in a very difficult position. That's why you do this sort of play. Karrigan, very experienced in-game leader, not going to be making those sort of mistakes. He's still from the lower tier kind of guys who sort of made the qualifier throughout the week. Like, you knew how stressed I was getting out just watching that, right? So it's better just to play like a default. Give yourself the highest percentage chance of winning these rounds. Sure, the pistols are amazing in CSGO and they can be overwhelming sometimes, a few unlucky deagle shots, but you need to do everything you can to make sure refrags are there. Use your utility. Don't worry about the money in that sense. The round going in your favor is much more important than saving a few $100s.
Kia, the one on the SMG, not yet pushing in toward the B site. He can afford to do so. Or, excuse me, Alu on the SMG.
Yes.
Excuse me, not Kyoshima, but he can afford to do so. He can still go in and try and find this stack, and they should send him, so they're going to send him now. That's
fine. They can throw him in. He's only got the MAC-10, right? So he'll probably get 1 kill, then go down and call 4 players in there. Go to the other side. They can beat the CTs back towards A, so that's not a problem. So let's see if Alu does investigate. Smoke's coming in here, and indeed he does go first. He should find a kill here against unarmored opponents. That MAC-10 does a lot of damage.
He's got an AK slipping in from Monster. He's drawn the attention. If they can get the AK in a better line, Kyoshima could find the headshot. Bomb is still over toward B, 32 seconds, but the fact that Nico's so close to A and has not spotted anyone.
Yeah, that's the call at this point.
Exactly. So whether you get information where the stack is or where it isn't, it's equal in that sense. The problem is that with no one else to go in to contest the stack, it's utility to slow it down, but they can still get a rotation. So Nico will get up close to the wall behind the truck to make sure that they don't push through the choke points and try and deny a bomb plant, do anything sneaky beaky.
Yeah.
EZPZ.
Liquid squeeze it.
Well, Nico does hold off the angle. Another kill for Alu as well on the MAC-10. So again, building the bank. Elige, Nico, Stanislaw, and Twist. Perhaps for the second straight round. He's going to save the armor, and is he even going to try and go for a cheeky knife?
It's about as good as it's going to get for him right now.
That would be amazing. I think he's actually considering it. He's been found. He was definitely considering it if someone jumped out that balcony to give him a slash in the back. So, Liquid now, this is a really rough situation, right? They force bought pretty much full into that second round. That's always a bit of a risk because it means you go into this first gun round now, especially if you have Galils and MAC-10s going into this first gun round. You have no head armor. I think Alu upgrades his MAC-10, so they're fine in that respect, but I guess it means that Galil's a little bit more powerful. If they had SMGs, that would be a huge deal, but no incendiaries, no kits. That's more of an issue than the head armor. JDM knows he has to work quite hard for this round. He's going to be in the bathrooms, not hyper-aggressive at the very start. Another default here, nothing off the bat in terms of strategy from the FaZe side. You can see JDM moving around now towards long. Smoke's deployed though from the FaZe side. This is much faster than anticipated. I thought they'd be holding up for about 45 seconds, but decent control coming in here. Rain hunting for this first frag. Firing speculative shots there through the smoke. Nico as well, by the party position. JDM wants to get up close and personal. Can he make this work? JDM waiting to see if the angle can be covered off. A late smoke, he'll cross it, go back toward the A site. Alu with the AK is going to spray inside of the front smoke if anyone's boosting or waiting on the other side. They'll be found by it, but all things as they were, straightforward and normal. It looks like they'll be setting up for some sort of execution here. 3 players on the B side of the map as well. Nico's along, but Karrigan, more importantly, he's got the bomb in towards middle. 50 seconds remaining, so they could throw Nico up towards long, try and find a frag and show presence towards A, or Karrigan goes joins his teammates towards B. But Karrigan now in the bathroom seems to be very careful. His teammates rotate and JDM misses the first shot. No damage inflicted just yet. JDM goes down to 34 HP. Elige, one of the star players, finds the first frag of this gun round. JDM gets rain. Good shot, Alu. Take back Elige. JDM so close to them, and yet still makes it work on the AWP. That'll drop the bomb as Nico gets him back, but this is going to buy space for Liquid. On the first gun round, they've got the man and make that double the advantage in a 3-1 versus Keo. He's going to try and grab the bomb and make what he can of it, but 9 seconds, not even worth it. Just get away. Bombs in the open, no chance, so he's gone with the AK.
little bit of a disappointing round there from FaZe. Just trying to play a contact mentality towards the A bomb site. They had decent map control as well. Could have gone for the full execution. Still had a few nades left over, but got caught. Once the first frag came in for Elise as well, you could see everyone going in for the refrag. A nice work from JDM. We know he likes it at close range, and that's a great shot to find Alu as well. He did not have the AWP on the other side. So the next round is where the fun really begins. That's what we call it the bonus round. You're taking over your previous weaponry. Sure, it was only a Galil, but now you're going to have the AWP for FaZe and a real chance now to reset Liquid. Luckily for the American guys, they did manage to keep 3 players alive, so it won't be a dramatic reset. There's still one they'll want to avoid. First round here, now Elige. He pushes up with a smoke towards the top of T steps, and look at JDM. They're looking for that first pick, actively hunting for it as well. Shima knows that could be a possibility. Tucked himself in the corner there, a monster tunnel. Nitro and JDM though, full control of short. That's a great setup for them. A lot of intel being gathered. Twist just tentatively watches towards that monster position for JDM. He knows he needs to step up in this game. He needs to go toe-to-toe with Alu. He's currently in the connector position, trying to hunt out his first enemy.
AWP.
Here we go.
It's going to go aggressive. Try and spot down the underpass position. Oh, watch, because if he double scopes and looks left, he won't be able to see the right. So Rain would have been able to find a peek and get the shot. Kerrigan and Alu, meanwhile, with bomb heading over toward the A side. Front bathrooms for now, no push to long. Park sign boost in play. Looks like a Liege, if I'm not mistaken, is the one above. Yes, it is. Stanislaw stands beneath.
This can be a very powerful position. Good for one frag, dropping down. You're normally quite safe with that one. Throw it in every couple of rounds. Can mix things up. JDM though, fantastic spot for him as well. So much gathered and surely nails his first shot. There it is. Calculated, takes down Alu, can fall back now, deploys the utility, time ticking away. 20 seconds now, they've lost yet another frag. FaZe not looking as confident in terms of the strategy as I would have thought.
Ooh, Nico finds a Liege. Not looking confident at all, and yet they pushed him off the park sign. Take him down. It's Stan that therefore has to go missing behind the smoke, but as it dissolves, it's the right time. Bomb denied. He's got potential for more as well. Sprays down Nico, who's low, and gets the headshot on Rain. No bomb planted. Well done from Stanislaw.
Yeah, we've got a game on our hands here. I thought FaZe were going to run away with this one, but Liquid, they look like they've got the game plan. They're sticking to it as well. Pushing off towards short of the start, getting so much intel, pushing towards that connector position. JDM rotates back in as well, finds the first pick, and then Stanislaw is letting the time tick away, forcing him to go for a plant about checking those key positions. They all focus towards middle. The execution wasn't really there. FaZe looking a little bit overwhelmed at times as well. Stanislaw comes and finds 3 great kills, but very easy ones. They couldn't even look towards long. They had to try and plant the bomb, so they're missing a player every time he faced, and he runs away at the round. Money broken for FaZe now. P250s, Deagles, no armor, no nades. Can be very dangerous with this weaponry, I have to say. But Liquid reading it well. This time not going aggressive, not giving away too much. At least he's even got the MP9, so he knows the eco's coming. Making sure they don't give much away, and that's a great start once again. Finding that opening pick, looking for the double. Well, he doesn't have to force the issue here. Fall back to the bomb, so that's fine. Establish the crossfires now, and just make sure we keep 5 players alive.
Elige sitting back, trying to use the SMG as best he can to spray down Nico. He'll have success as well with the reload. Could cost him as Rain gets the kill. It also means that JDM has the AWP. This time he can't hit a close shot. Takes him down. That opens up some room to wiggle for Alu. And an AWP in his hands, we know it's threatening. He has the ball. Can't go for the plant yet. Finds one more kill, but thankfully they double up, play together. And in tandem, they will take Alu down to find a third straight round. So we go 3-3. Reasonable money still for Liquid.
Yeah, comes down to a 1v1 though. Certainly not the most comfortable of rounds, but still, they all count. Rain with a decent job there with the PT50. We're going to round number 7. That's great from FaZe though. Sure, they didn't win it, but they keep Liquid very modest now. Liquid, after the reinvestment, they're down to about $0 for 3 or 4 players. You can see Nitro have a little bit more there. Alu back on the AWP. 3 in a row for Liquid. Can we strike back here on the T side? JDM once again hunting towards middle, not falling back just yet. A nice smoke just to hold them at bay, and he can concentrate towards the playground area as well. Comes back for now. In fact, all 3 players from the CT side of that area do decide to go back to the site here. Just Nitro and Twist at B. Kiyoshima, he's on that side of the map by himself. So FaZe, we've seen good defaults from them, good map control. It's the final play to the bomb site. Seems like they leave little time to actually finish it off and get the bomb down successfully. That's been a massive problem. They lose that one frag, then they seem a bit panicked. But going towards long, and that's what the CTs have adjusted to. Easy shot for JDM there. Punishes Nico, one of the best players on the FaZe side, and that's a great scalp to take. Fall back once again. They're getting these opening picks consistently, Matt.
Rain and Kyo toward Monster tunnel. Kerrigan will join in as well. So too will Alu. Twist, Nitro, Stan, all in this site. Make that one less good entrance from Kiyoshima to find Twist. Watch the Molotov because he's low enough on HP. That would have taken him down, but Stan does the spray instead. Nitro doesn't even need to get kills. He's just getting assists. 3 HP left for Kiyoshima. And Liquid, oh, good shot from Elise through the wall. Have taken 4 straight rounds, convincing fashion, and they're going to force a timeout from FaZe.
Liquid making FaZe look quite amateur here, I have to say. They seem panicked, and when they lose a first frag, they're running through Molotovs one by one. The communication seems off. This is the FaZe I was describing in the pre-game, the one that looks pretty woeful. They're not kind of working as a unit. The executions aren't there. I expected better from this going into a big game like this, a quarterfinals against a team like Liquid, a team you expect FaZe to almost stomp on paper, but Liquid have looked much better in this tournament. And FaZe, this is a poor showing so far. The gun rounds have not excited me whatsoever, but Liquid, great game plan. Go for that first pick. Show pressure towards a certain position where you know there's going to be tendencies from FaZe towards Long, for example. Get that first pick, take down Nico. What an easy frag that was as well. JDM didn't even look flashed. He just had an opening shot. No response there from Nico whatsoever, no refrag potential. They fall back, funnel them towards B. Once again, 20 seconds remaining when they're in their final play, drop an incendiary. They have to run for a 1-by-1 as well. That desperate play from Alu to try and get a pick back. What was going to do? No scope while running through fire. Like, wasn't ever going to work out for him. And this is looking very good for Liquid. This is not their map pick, remember. They move on to theirs next, which is Train. And that's where FaZe looked very poor as well. Still very early days. But the gun rounds have not worked out for FaZe. We'll have PT-50s, Glocks, and Deagles here. Nico with head armor. A couple of smokes. Maybe just some set pieces off the bat now. Let's just get the bomb down. Let's have some clutch situations. That's where FaZe are going to thrive. We've seen what Nico can do with the AK-47, especially against North yesterday. 4 AK headshots, low HP. That's the kind of Counter-Strike he wants to be playing. Opportunities where CTs are coming towards him.
Molotov getting ready to be thrown toward the stairwell. Kerrigan goes flash. Timing was accurate, but better timing, the Molotov that was thrown by Stanislaw. He sprays down Kerrigan after JDM over toward A. He's got the company. He's got the pressure. 1 shot found, 2 missed. 2 missed. You might as well kiss it goodbye. It's Elise that'll get Elise, or excuse me, Alu down the bomb plant. He's got to spray in. They line up for him, but he can't collect Nico as well. His teammates can do that instead. Careful, Elise. Low on HP. Don't need to give yourself up. His teammates will trade off of it, however, so they'll find 5 rounds.
Get the bomb down. It's actually looking more promising than the gun rounds have so far. Kerrigan showing a bit of presence there towards B. With the eco as well, you'd assume that everyone's on that side of the map. They take him down, a lot of smokes and flashbangs deployed as well. They actually pulled some rotations over towards B at that point as well. Back towards A, just JDM there. He gets 1 shot, he buys just enough time there. Bomb goes down for FaZe. There was a little bit of a glimmer of hope there, I would say, but ultimately another comfortable round for Liquid. Dropped 2 players, but at this stage, that's 5 rounds in a row for FaZe. The bomb going down as well. Great money. Maximum loss bonus, $3,400 per player, and the bonus of $800 as well. Round number 9. What's the adaptation here from FaZe? I want to see something just off the bat. Let's just get the confidence up. Stick as a 5-man unit, deploy the smokes, and these defaults just look uninspired right now. Much faster play in terms of the flashbangs used at the start. Rain and Nico sticking together, and they get the first frag through the smoke, but it all counts. And it's going to be a little wall bang as well, but Alige fighting back from the connector there. Finds Rain once again. Does he want to challenge anymore? Surely not. He knows Nico's on the other side. Things do subside here, and it's going to be 4-on-4. Kerrigan with the bomb, waiting in the connector position as well. 2 CTs on the other side. They could challenge him together, and if they take him down, that's a massive benefit for the CT side.
Dio down as he walks in through the short pipe. Nitro gets Alu, so another gun round, another one gone. 4 players stay alive for Liquid as well. 6-3. This is looking really grim. That shake of the head says it all. They don't look like they have any idea what they want to accomplish. No direction. The
defaults aren't working. They're not working as a unit right now. Let's just do the set pieces now. Get the strategy book out. Take a timeout perhaps as well. I'm not sure why Robin hasn't called that as of yet. These gun rounds are grim. Liquid just seem like they're out-fragging them and out-positioning them as well. Great game plan on the CT side. After losing the pistol nurse as well with a 3-0, they're running away with this game. This looks like what I've suggested. Stick 5 men towards the B side of the map. Let's just get smoke deployed fast through the monster tunnel as well. Here we go. It's up to Twisto, spraying 2 down. Make it 3! Twist lights them up and he takes down the FaZe clan. That's another round in their favor. And he wants more of this as well as he pushes through the smoke. An absolute bloodbath from the B side. Nico fighting back slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Flash over. Nico tries to find a better angle. Twist will go down to cover off the bomb at Monster. Molotov to the ramp. But no entry just yet. Smokes in front. Nico and Alu. Nico's been quiet again in this game, by the way. We mentioned that the other day. This game in particular, he does find his way up to 7-7, so I take that back. He has caught his teammates, but he hasn't had the impact that we normally see from him. He had a slow start in the first 3 rounds as well, but this round, I'd say, is looking grim. 56 seconds. There's time to work with, but they almost have to be perfect on their entry. If they get a kill on Twist, who's low enough on the HP, perhaps there's something in it, but look at the stack around that bomb.
They've got 1 smoke to work with a flashbang as well. That was another desperate round for them. Going for the simple play, the contact, but pushing through the smoke like that. Twist doesn't even have to aim. Full crouch play with the AK. Lovely work by him, but FaZe just not showing up so far. Alu and Nico remain. No orb for Alu, but Nico alive with the AK-47. Needs to find his opening kill. You know he's probably going to get it. 20 seconds remaining now, but Santa's still the perfect timing, and JDM to finish things off as well. Another clinical round from Liquid. FaZe just don't seem to have an answer right now. Where's the real execution? Where's the tactics here? It's just another contact play. We called that. I thought they were going to go for the set piece, but look at this play. Through the smoke, they're flashed as well. He's not even blind Twist. He shouldn't be able to be given that sort of freedom. I thought he was just crouch playing fully blind, but that's way too easy for him. And as I said earlier, FaZe being made to look like an amateur team against Liquid right now. This is not good enough. And we go into round number 11. Scout out for Nico. Deagles as well. Another partial buy. Gonna have to take this one on the chin. They did get the bomb down with Deagles before. Probably the most promising mid-round we've had so far. Like, that's the first time I can really imagine them actually getting into a 1v1 and having a chance of winning it since the pistol. You'd think with this sort of scoreline, you think Liquid must have come up trumps in some of the clutches and won some big rounds. Hasn't they? Every round's looked quite convincing. Yeah, 7 in a row now that the guns have started to be a factor in this game. Scout for Nico and Deagles for everybody else. Best of luck to you, FaZe. Yeah. Keep in mind that this creates, we always talk about it, the reset potential. Push up for JDM. He's going to get aggressive off spawn. Had a decent one. Doesn't go for the bench jump. No smoke down low, so he doesn't need the elevation to see above it. He'll back off the safe route instead, and Alu will push up long aggressively. It's fine for now. He can have the position. They don't have a whole lot to work with in terms of firepower. They do indeed have 2 smokes, however. They could go for a fast play and a plant to follow it. Nico gets ever closer. Oh, to JDM. Good shot on the scout. Here we go.
JDM downed early. Here we go indeed, because Ali's just going to put himself in an awkward position pushing out from bathrooms. They're already inside behind him. They could easily swing and catch him off. He needs a teammate. He needs Stanislaw to defend him, or he needs to take the fight himself. Goes back to try and do so. They're getting damage. The shoulder peaks already. He's got to be careful of his reload. As Rain goes down to 12, they get it closer. Stan, good fight to long. Gives Elise the confidence that he's covered off and therefore can push to take down Rain as Nico still on the scout once more. But it's Kerrigan and Keo that find kills. This is suddenly working out. They've used the utility to get in the sight. Kerrigan's picked up the AWP, and they know exactly where the last remaining member, of Liquid is. Twist as he tries to flank back in. But they're all going to have eyes on him. Shot from the scout does not land. Down to 71 as he gets tagged through the wall instead. Kerrigan, AWP, 15 HP. Sitting duck as the flash lands. Nico and Keo are going to play side by side, and Molotov has gone out toward long. Flashes toward the back stairs. He has no idea they're also in the bathrooms. He's going to check it, surely, as he goes one way and then looks back, spots them at long, knows they're there, has to tap and take the fight. 1 HP. 1 HP is not enough. They win it with pistols and a scout. Nico gets the first and final kill.
So after going up 3-0, the only rounds they've looked convincing in is rounds they've had pistols and 1 scout. That's it. Great opening shot, but this is what we need to see more of in the actual gun rounds. Why are we not seeing them look like they want to take duels? Why are they so tentative at the very start? Caged almost. And they've got to start realizing, okay, if we're getting all these kills and getting the bomb down and pistols, why don't we have that sort of play style? Others having no respect Counter-Strike, getting their grills and actually managing to take duels. They've looked way too kind of passive on the T side. It's not what we've come to expect of FaZe. They're the team that knows they can out-aim every player in the world. Why have we not seen it yet? I think that's the call at this point as well. We can see them getting back towards middle. JDM trying to get this first pick as he waits towards the bathrooms. Nothing given away just yet. Another smoke deployed. And he can get control of the party position, potentially towards long as well. JDM falls back, holds a different line. Alu back with the AWP, but pretty quiet game from him so far. JDM looks like the much stronger AWP, I have to say.
Wow. Stronger or not, it's JDM pushing up one of two AWPs. Nitro with the other one is also on A, so they're going to double op not only on the map, but on the A site specifically.
Great setup.
You have been a fan of that in the past.
Yeah.
I used to like the second op going to Monster, but it's a timing and it's utility-based.
It means you can have 3 players on the B side, right? Everything's covered, so you can have that AWP turret looking towards middle and bathrooms, and long. Speak for itself. Look at that range. Trying to get that first pick and staying alive as well. Fall back to bank if you have to. 3 players on B, holding off the executions. This is a really comfortable place to be on the CT side.
Alu, you've got to jump before the end of the bench if you're going to jump up
him
there. Good thing he checks it, because if he had jumped up, he would have been in the open. Nitro, not sure which way to peek. Knows there's flashes coming in. Quick shot, spots one close, but better shot to go back the other way. Nails Kerrigan as they bring over JDM into the denial of the default spot. Nitro could see the gun barrel, didn't want to peek, but he gets found first from the players walking in at main. And inside of the smoke, they back off. Stan takes the angle instead because JDM's gone down. It's all the rifles to try and retake. Good shot from Stan, bounced back by Rain. Just 2 remaining for Liquid. 1 kit for Twist. There's another down by the truck where Stan perished. You can see it to the right of Rain, who goes back to his left to find Elige. Twist immediately in front, does at least get him back. But a 1 versus 2 default setup, and Alu still on an AWP is going to be a problem as Twist goes over to his left to get ever closer. He's got a little bit of time to work with the kit picked up, but he's going to get kills quick enough to pull out Alu, and I'd say that opportunity is gone. AK instead, and head for the hills, or better still, the AWP.
Couldn't save it. Kiyoshima takes him down. That's much better from FaZe. You could see, I said, that double AWP setup, that can be very strong indeed, but unraveled there by FaZe, managing to get the smokes finally, a full execution. The wall of smokes, unless they hit the initial AWP shots there. Nitro gets 1, but JDM, almost non-existent in that round, fell back behind the smokes. Calls for the rifles to come over, there's too much. The bomb was already planted, and this is looking much better from FaZe now. Posting 5 rounds, and Liquid down to the pistols here. So finally, FaZe do manage to break them. And we go to round number 13, the closing stages of the first half now here, but it looks like Liquid were looking to get aggressive potentially here. They push off towards short at the very start of the CZs, but Molotov'd out. 4-man stack and Elige in the connector as well. So in terms of grenades, nothing to work. We can't flash over and trying to find the first pick. It's going to come down to potentially lucky timings here. They go short now. Nothing there to begin with. We do have Kiyoshima, Alu and Rain with the bomb on the other side as well, but pistols can't really justify pushing through Monster or short just yet.
Stan will cop damage from the nade. FaZe have fought their way back in after winning with pistols and a scout. They start to look more formidable. It's 2 rounds in a row. And they break Liquid down that quickly. Oh, Kerrigan finding Elige. Good shot as he tries to sneak up behind them. Nitro goes back out toward the construction area, and Kiyoshima's also going to be staring that down. If anyone dare try and walk through the short pipe, he's ready with the AK. Good shot. Second one followed up. Alu and Rain together. Kio's left that position to go into the B site, but Nico's the one to find Twist instead, so it's within 1 round. And Liquid, remember as well, they went to the double op setup on the round they lost for the first time. That means they invested heavily that particular round, and it's definitely catching up with them now.
Certainly is. Having a look at the buy coming in for round number 14 here. JDM has the AWP, but they don't have a single kit on the team. In terms of incendiary as well, very important for the B side of the map, especially for those final executions. None of those to work with. So I think back to aggression here for the CT side. Standard still goes connector. Elige, JDM as well, pushing in the same position. A bit of a trifecta coming in as well. JDM looking to get aggro from his teammates in middle. Then he'll take the face. Here he comes, looking towards playground as well. He is going to have an opportunity to get his first shot. Nails it as well. But Nico, he answers back at the same time. Elige dropping and Alu chiming in as well. This is looking much better now for FaZe. Their patience and the aggression apparently from Alu as well working out. This will be a 4-on-2, and he's got full control of the B bomb site. JDM is standing still towards middle. Surely a guaranteed round at this point for FaZe.
JDM searching everywhere with an AWP up close. I love how quickly he scans it.
Bomb has been planted.
Rain. And the shot on Stan at lower, but won't necessarily discourage JDM from trying to find further kills. He hits one more on Rain. They'll know exactly where he is. Alu as well is a factor in the fact that he's slipping up bathrooms to try and get in behind JDM. Nico's got the ladder. They literally have him in a cage at this point in time. He has no way out. All 3 exit points covered off.
Yeah, he's
and they'll just leave him. Oh,
hello.
To contain him. He's got a shot up his sleeve, but Kio's got him back. 7-7 FaZe. Now they've awoken.
That's better. That's what we wanted to see, though. Is that there seemed to be too much respect for the Liquid guys here from FaZe. Ali just running up short now with the AWP, finding AWP shots and shutting down the round. Nice work from JDM to kick things off, but decent reply from FaZe, assertive plays towards our B-bomb side, especially we're going to round number 15. And I can't believe I'm saying this. From what I've seen so far, I didn't feel like FaZe would actually get back into this game from what I saw in the gun rounds, but could actually win in round number 15 here, 8-7. Very likely considering the weak buy from Liquid here. Scout for JDM, MP9s and UMPs out as well. Elige with the only real rifle here. He's got the FAMAS. No kits, few smokes to work with, Elige with no nades whatsoever. Surely FaZe will be reading the situation and just sticking together, going towards long nice and quick here. They know the orb's almost impossible for JDM. Bombs there as well. Nico holding the playground position once again. Firing through the smoke, trying to find that first frag.
Alu's going to wait behind the rock as Kerrigan gets up closer to the flowers. Entry point from Keo is accurate. Crosshair placement looked to be there, but it was a fraction too high as Twist slipped underneath of it by backing up a step. WP still in play, though. Alu's going to try and use it. Try and get much closer toward the A site. Peeks toward bank, no one there just yet. Elige and JDM have gone out to the front of bathrooms instead.
Time ticking away. This was the problem for FaZe before, but that's not a problem at all. Alu takes down JDM to open things up. He only had to scout, takes damage in return, but looking to get a few more here. Salasol takes him down with that MP9, and this could be a problem now. FaZe coming in towards the A bomb side from long.
Potentially overextended Alu, however, he doesn't mind going down because his teammates are going in long. He could call for them. They're able to push into the site immediately, turn their attention back to the direction by which their teammate was killed, and find the response. Good shot from Twist. We aren't done yet. It's a close round. Still 20 HP. Kerrigan, he says we're done. He says 8 rounds is what they get. And yes, Liquid fans, I'm afraid things turned quite quickly in that half. A pistol, or rather 4 pistols and a scout, leads to a string of 5 rounds for FaZe.
Somehow they get back into it. They seemed overwhelmed. The gun rounds were uninspired, but yes, they turn it around after breaking the economy of Liquid as well. FaZe managed to find some lack of respect, counter-strike, get in their grills, start hitting the shots and the clutches as well. Liquid still in this, but that's a disappointing finish. We're going to take a quick break and see if they can come back in the second half.
Well, we start off, there you go, good little graphic for you on Overpass. FaZe pull it back, they won the pistol, they won 3 rounds. We thought, all right, this is decent, and then Liquid battered them for 7 in a row, only to have the momentum come to a screeching halt.
Yeah, it was a really strange half in that respect. I didn't expect FaZe to get back into it, but their deagle rounds actually looked better than the gun rounds at points as well. They win one of those, breaks the money of Liquid at that point, and they get 5 in a row towards the end. So they made up for their errors, and they do win the half, and this is their map pick. You'd expect them to run away with it, but still, we do have a game on our hands. We're going to half number 2 here, of course. Liquid on the T side, and kicking things off in style as it leads. He finds Alu very quickly as deed, but Rain fighting back along, trying to do what he can here, tapping their heads away. The bomb is dropped as he finds 2 frags. Can he find the third? Indeed he can. Rain doing a fantastic job there towards long. That should be the round now. It's up to Twist and Stanislaw to try and recover.
Rain to watch if anyone will push back around the corner. Trying this guy. Stan gets a lot closer. He nearly had a chance to get the shot before Rain had turned back around, but he certainly did, and he certainly made good of it. It's down to just Twist. He will at least find Rain, get the bomb back potentially. He's got to find Kerrigan. And from range, the USP always wins. It does again. FaZe now get round number 9. 2nd straight pistol in this game.
Here are the odds going into this game, as you can see, provided by Betway. FaZe, the heavy favorites, I would say, looking at that, but I would say that's maybe a bit of a disparity. I think Liquid have a tighter chance than that, and we'll see whether they can pull through. FaZe looking very good in that pistol run, I have to say. Rain especially. Going to be a bit of a USP master, finds 4 headshots, bit of a brawl there, but he comes out on top, of course. And will be Liquid with the 4 spy across the board here. All 5 players getting head armor as well. They're going for an execution here, presumably towards B from what I can see, setting up. 2 smokes to work with, used towards a bomb site and probably heaven as well. They'll be in a default finality. If any CT aggression coming in at the very start of the round. It's currently 9-7. Liquid after losing the pistol. Trying to do what they can now. Very quiet. Just hoping a CT makes a mistake. A little bit of damage done towards Kiyoshima there. Not much. So CTs will at least be aware that the 4 spy has come in this 2nd round. That might seem obvious, but we have seen a variation of approaches here, going full eco in the 2nd round, no bomb, and you get Galilza in the 3rd round. That was quite a cool idea. I think it was G2 that's been doing that recently and having great success with it. So it's always good to get that intel at the start. Certainly worth taking a couple of risks as to work out what kind of buy they have.
Twist still waiting outside of Monster, smoked off. Nico staring it down, but they have pistols, keep in mind. Both sites, when you arrive, are easy enough to get the plant down in terms of how close the plant position is to the entry. The problem is that A is a lot more open, so the pistols are more viable toward B. And it looks like construction is exactly where they'll set up to try and do so. 2 smokes in play. Definitely going to be a factor on the entry. Nico and Keo, the only 2 directly in the site, is Kerrigan as well as in the window looking down from above. One of the smokes could go his direction, or will it be the wall on the site itself to try and get a fast plant? So far, none thrown, and Nico's already got a shot. He's back down to try and get a Liege inside of Monster, but won't be able to do so. The Tech 9 prevails as they should do, running and gunning as they are. Liege with 3 kills. Nitro gets one in the mix, and Rain suddenly in a 1 versus 4 is spraying relentlessly, but can't find the targets he's looking for. 12 HP for Twist, 10 for Liege, and Rain repositions, and very likely is going to back off. Watch the low HP jumping around inside of the site, though, if he finds them quick enough. Jeez, he's got 1 bullet on 3 of them. He could still go on this, but it's looking less and less likely.
No care, I think he has to back out of this. But what a round from Liquid after losing the pistol. It's a bit of a risk for all 5 players, especially to go all in that buy. Normally, Orpa would take a bit of a more modest approach, but a couple of smokes, one of which failed as well. So they had 1 smoke in heaven, and a smoke that was designed to get the left-handed bomb site actually landed on the roof. A misthrown smoke, and you know what? It actually works out for Liquid, because at least wouldn't have had that vision on the CT entrance with that smoke deployed. He manages to get 3 in total, so that's so funny, isn't it? The fact that they missed for a smoke, it actually works in their favor. But can't argue the results. Probably a bit mad at the time when they saw it. They thought, actually give us 3 kills. Let's have a look at this now. You see the smoke on the roof as he turned around.
Smart on Liege to at least consider it. There
that.
You go. Yeah, it's on the roof directly above them.
He wouldn't have got that frag.
At least he checks it and recognizes that fast enough, because a lot of times people will walk in and just get battered in that sense. So this time, despite not winning the first half pistol, they respond on the eco. We go 9-8. Rain still saving the M4, will carry it over, but it's JDM that's picked up the FAMAS. It's JDM that's picked up a lot of damage early on in this round. Sprayed down already to 3.
Full commitment from FaZe as well. One of those games. We have a saved M4 and head armor. 4 players. CZs as well with the 5.7s. Nico with the Deagle. Probably one of the best users of that weapon in the world right now. We'll see what he can do. JDM goes down to 3 HP. Liquid need to be very careful here. SMGs primarily, a FAMAS and an AK chucked in there as well. Stanislaw, the first to investigate towards middle. His teammates have already cleared out connector. Is he feeling brave? Does he want to walk into that bathroom position? Not yet, it seems. Just wants to get as close to the side as he possibly can.
Keep an eye on Rain. He's the one with the M4. And he's got a chance to maybe catch them off. If only they could slow them down in bathrooms somehow. JDM's gone back to find him. He's on 3 HP, so he should go down. If he does, it'll at least signal the rest of the troops that, yes, in fact, Rain is that position. We know where the M4 is, and his element of surprise would be gone. Oh, he's going to go and spot JDM. Immediately takes him.
There we go.
This is the response, though. Twist already looking this direction. Rain's going to try and spot him behind the fountain. Manages it. Chance in this as Elise turns around. That's exactly what we expected, but so many kills already. And Kerrigan following it up means Elise and Nitro are now the ones in the hot seat. Bomb planted. It's only Nitro remaining. It's a reverse play on the Eco from FaZe. And Nitro down by Nico. It goes back the other way. 10-8, and the money is in the favor of the European side.
Finally, we're seeing some of these star power plays from the likes of Rain. He had one rifle going into that round, some CZs as well, a full force fire in return, and it shuts down Liquid. Coming from the playground position, a full flank there, gets 2 frags, and the CZs, they managed to capitalize there with the aggression taken away. Great job overall by FaZe, only dropping 1 player as well, turning this game around, but the bomb gets planted now. Probably see another force fire in response. This is the kind of half we do love and hate to see at the same time. It's frustrating, but still can lead to very exciting Counter-Strike. Here it comes. AK-47, Tech 9s, and JDM has the AWP. Glass cannon, he has no armor. Very fragile. We'll see if he can step up here.
3 smokes go with it, and we know that the T side, you can get away with a little more in these particular halves when they go back and forth and the economy is so fragile because of the bomb plants. So keep that in mind as well with those 3 smokes, but it's FaZe that certainly could capitalize by breaking Liquid right now. Molotov down already at short tunnel. Twist, he's going to push through it. Checking the jump spot, as anyone should do as they walk in, especially with an AK in their hands. Very passive from FaZe. They know the situation and that there's likely a force buy in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense for Liquid as well. Back and forth game. You're on the chase. You win this round, not only make it 10-9, but you reset the economy of the CTs and the force buys continue.
There are 2 things that JDM can do with this glass cannon. The first and foremost is open up the round. That's sort of already passed because they're starting to establish map control. They're getting closer to the site. The second, okay, so the boost will certainly help that, but the second is post-plant position, specifically on A. If they can get the bomb down to the default, the AWP will be money, but that's even better. He's gotten Rain early. It still can be the latter. But with an opening kill, they'll start to get more aggressive onto the site. Elige goes out toward long. Nitro's immediately in the face on the precipice, trying to find his way in with the AK. Alu, just beside him, actually takes down Stanislaw, who blocked Nitro's angle. He'll grab the bomb, default plant just side of it. They don't want to get sprayed down from the bank stairs, but it's better from Keo and Kerrigan, who pushed through the smoke, and JDM's gone. No plant, no position.
What a round there. Alu somehow finds the bomb holder through the smoke there. That was the catalyst to the chaos at that point as well. Kiyashima, Kerrigan especially pushing through, finding 2 kills out of the UMP. No bomb plant coming through. I'm sure this is the replay from Kerrigan. So brave to go through that smoke. If he goes down, that's the round, but he finds 2 high-octane kills there. And finally, the force buy should come to an end with no bomb plant either. Liquid have to take an eco on a chin here. P250s, no armor, a couple of Glocks as well. FaZe now. Very dominant position. It should be 12-8. We're into round number 20. Full-on B-rush here. A lot of nade damage done. Bomb dropped as well. Kiyashima just spraying them down. He's having some fun this round. Twist gets 1 in return. But that should be it. Stanislaw can do no more. And we do get the scoreline. 12-8. FaZe. You're just joining us. It's the 3rd quarterfinal of the day. So best of 3. We're opening things up on FaZe's pick, which is Overpass. We move on to Train next, and then I hope it gets them at Inferno. It's a classic 3rd map in a best of 3, especially in the playoff stages of a tournament like this. It will be absolutely bananas if we do manage to make it. I hope we do.
Double op in play. AK's out. 12 rounds FaZe. JDM backs through the smoke, flashed in. They won't have an AWP in his hands, and they won't have anything in his hands because he doesn't have any anymore. His soul has left his body as Alu puts him down. It's Nitro. Might get an angle on him as he backs off, but Alu doesn't want to just cower into the side. He's going to go aggressive and find Nitro as well.
Yeah, Trying to get that refrag. Nitro gets punished for it. Alu with a great start. That's the hard work done now. Nothing else needs to be done on the CT side. You have the overwhelming manpower. Problem is they have got 2 players towards long. They're going for the flank here. I'd much prefer them just to fall back and play on the bomb side. Smoke's coming in. This looks like a fake though. They'll probably go back towards the B side from what I can see so far. Not clear as to whether they'll commit to it just yet. We still have Alu patrolling the A bomb site. And here comes Rain. This is the problem. Spots one player. Can't nail the shot just yet. Gives his position away. He might go down here.
FaZe might go down as well. 22 HP, Rain. Is picked apart. Team Liquid.
He's locked them in though, at least, Rain.
Keep in mind Twist is still rotating around behind him. And he's in the open to it. So Twist will free his teammates from that sense. A jailbreak. My favorite game as a kid, Hank.
Me too.
I wish childhood was still a thing. Simpler times.
Happier times.
Naivety. Ignorance is bliss.
Well, 20 seconds remaining. We're going to need something special from one of these big names in Liquid right now. Stanislaw been great this tournament. Can he open up the A bomb site? I don't think they can. They need to get the bomb plant as well. There's Ali with another frag. Carrigan chiming in as well. He gets both. Nails the headshots, and there it is. A big scoreline now. No bomb down. I think this has to be an ego from Liquid as well. The scoreline is 13-8. FaZe in touching distance of taking their map pick in the best of 3. I think Liquid, in terms of the loss bonus, they're a 4th stage to get maximum loss bonus next round. They can take a partial buy here. Keep each player about 2k, maybe 1.5k per player. You can see now FaZe looking very comfortable as we get into round number 22. A pause will come in, of course, a chance for Zeus to chime in. The father figure, if you will, of this team, just trying to allow his input to be heard and work out what the play is here. In terms of the situation financially, you have to pick your poison, right? You could force into this round and take a huge gamble and try and overwhelm the CTs, which you did before the Tech-9s. You remember the only round they've had in this half was a 4B execution with Tech-9s. They ran away with it. You could go for something like that with the partial buy. Or take a fully go get the orbs out next round potentially and try and see what you can do. But the final call comes in. 3 Tech-9s, 2 P250s, some body armor, a couple of smokes. That's what we do call the partial buy, leaving the money at a substantial level for the next round. Looking very likely to be a huge lead for FaZe after this one. Should be 14-8.
Go. Waiting at the off-site, but Ali with the off-guard. He finds one kill, goes to the pistol. Elise knows he's cowered into the corner. He's got him with the Tech-9 in return. So something to work with as JDM back on a glass cannon, is I'm sure relieved to have a little bit more space. Rain's position is exceptional. At the playground, he's behind everyone on Liquid. Nico's watching the door at the lower tunnel, so if they go that way, he's got them covered off. He's going to concede the ladder, expecting correctly that they're not going to go back that direction as a unit. There's got to be someone out by the bathrooms, and he's behind them. He's got this lineup, and it's going to be, oh, no trigger discipline. I thought for sure he would wait on that one. Takes JDM again, pulls all the attention as he fights on. Elige actually wins that exchange before anyone else can get close. It's going to give them another gun to work with.
Yeah, that actually doesn't work out too nicely as of right. He keeps making the perfect flank, coming behind them, finds one kill, but can't get the second as well. He could have walked up and joined the pack. He does take down the AWP, for the reason is he can't kill any of his teammates. If he sees an AWP on a T-side opponent, take him down as quickly as possible before he opens up that A bomb side. But still, in with a chance of this round is Liquid. 30 seconds now. They still have smokes as well. We'll see if Kiyoshima and Carrigan can hold them off. Kiyo certainly can, but not for long. Up to Carrigan to deny the plant now.
Good shot, Carrigan on the first, but not any better afterward. Twist, great shot. We talked about the youngster. He's in a one-on-one in a round that could bail Liquid out of economic turmoil. He's got the bomb down early as well, picked up at M4. He's stuck with the Tech-9, however. It may still be beneficial, given that he knows exactly where Nico is after the first shot was the shoulder shown. I don't think it was wide enough as Nico continues to bait in. Good shot from Twist. Liquid find round 9.
Great stuff there from Twist. 17 years of age, looking fantastic, I have to say. That's a huge round for him to pick up as well. And you have to think Rain's got to be gutted at that one. Once again, he outsmarted him. You have no idea he's there. He only gets that one kill and actually ends up trading, gives him another rifle to work with. That's the rifle that ends it all as well. Double AWP set up that round for the CTs. It was Nico to pick up the second one. Couldn't really go for the clutch. I didn't have what he needed to really push past that initial entrance. He's hoping the terrorists would make a mistake. Tactical time off Liquid once again. That makes sense. They're so close to losing this game right now. They have another lifeline for winning the force buy there. Zeus wants to chime in and just say, look, now we've got money. This is the play next. The executes were looking good. Let's probably go back to that. That B bomb site, they're going to be weaker on over there. You've taken down one of the AWPs. Going to number 23. Liquid looking for double digits here. I like this tactical timeout. Most people assume you have to use them after you lose a round, right? But when you win a big round like that, let everyone calm down. It's a huge clutch, 1v1. Got some inexperienced players there as well. Let them calm down, let the adrenaline subside.
That's the other thing as well. It was a huge clutch.
Yeah, against Nico as well, right? The world's best player. Imagine your heart pacing at that point.
But it also says that they were relying on the clutch to win it, which means the execution wasn't there. Of course, they didn't have guns in that round, but you still have to identify problems. Clutches aren't going to happen every single time.
Sure.
But yes, absolutely. The clutch against Nico. Twist. Yeah. Well done, son. Oh, not so well done from Alu. Forced out by the Molotov, goes directly into it. Doesn't scope in and gets caught off by Elige immediately. So early pick for Liquid for the first time in quite some time, I have to say, on a terrorist side.
Well, 5 and 4. Hard work done. Alec gives his kill away for free almost there in the connector. Had the orb to work with there, but couldn't find the shot. Elige, as we said, one of the superstars from North America, finds that initial headshot. And with the orb down as well, and winning the previous round, it's very unlikely to see these have a double orb set up. They just help themselves along. If Ali's spotted in that position, it's very unlikely to have presence on this side of the map. This is looking very good. You can definitely execute towards A from this position. Smoke towards the end of long potentially. Get nice and close to the bomb site. CT's now feeling the pressure. Here comes the smoker described. JDM will be throwing it. Still 4 remaining as well. Stanistor, confident as the orb covers him as well. Any of the CTs decide to phase, JDM will punish him for it. Just looking about that APC as well. There's a gap in the smoke and checking that elusive corner. No one there for now.
Oh, Nico.
What?
Sprays through the smoke, nails them both, lines it up.
They were both on the tight wall as well. He flashed over, and your instinct as a terrorist is whenever you're flashed is get it to the wall, protect yourself, and then it's a straight line lineup.
Rain again gets behind them. Third time, and this time it's Twist, not JDM. For once, it's not JDM. JDM's got an AWP, but he's one of 2. Him and Elige left in the round. Kerrigan will cover off front of bathrooms. Rain knows and he can hear them working back out. He's got them lined up. Fountain to play with. The angle there, tapping on both of them. JDM's low, so is Elige. As the op shot, you can see the bullet hole in front of them just barely miss Rain. And the time expires. If they kill them now, they get no money. One down already. JDM's lost his. Oh. Thankfully, they keep Elige alive, but that's costly for Liquid. 14 rounds for FaZe.
It was looking so good as well. They get that first pick in the first 10 seconds. They have full long control. They're just about to execute, but what a play. The reaction comes in towards long. Nico, I assume they must have flashed first. It seemed like he just lines up with a straight wall. Oh, it's just so perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
So gutting as well. You're just about to throw your grenades and to get everything you've got in that last round, but it gets forward by one of the world's best.
Elige staying alive with the AK helps, as we mentioned, but thankfully JDM actually had reasonable cash carried over. He was near about the 2K mark, so he's able to pick up a UMP at the very least, but this is all in from Liquid.
Yeah. I guess at this point you have to be. You can't allow FaZe to get to 15 rounds and you're still trading by 6.
And it'll only be a second round loss bonus, so yeah, absolutely all in. The Hail Mary.
They have to get that big execution again from what I can see. They worked out the Tech-9s before. Give it another go. Deep breath now. Kerrigan finds the first couple of frags, but Elige is fighting back.
Keo, good find on Twist, because Alu with the AWP was a sitting duck. If he'd gone down, Keo saves him and snaps to his right. Brilliant round from Kiyoshima, 3 kills. And it's 1 to go for FaZe. A timeout called for Liquid, but this is a desperate timeout. 2K. The average money, $22.50. The best of anyone is Elige, and that's not really enough, to be completely honest.
Indeed. The final, well, one more timeout left, but this could be it, I'm afraid. $2,000 per player. What does that mean we can get? Presumably Tech-9s, body armor, smokes, flashbangs. Hope for the best. This time, running through those smokes, it was Kiyoshima stepping up tremendously here, having fun almost as he lit them up. Not even flash. That's very good stuff by him. Chris Bain, it seems like the big names are getting warmed up for FaZe now. The M4s will be coming in momentarily, and indeed the P250s, the Tech-9s start to come out. Not a single SMG or rifle to work with here. Surely this is the end. It was a really rough first half for FaZe. Losing, what, 6 rounds in a row after going 3-0 up, but then second half has been completely theirs. They've dropped 2 rounds so far, which was a force buy in the second, and then 1 gun round after that. They've kept Liquid at bay, and we're going to round number 25. Could be the last here. This is FaZe's pick, but Liquid certainly showed up in the first half, not so much here in the second. Last chance to loom. What have they got? 3 smokes, 1 Molotov, 2 flashbangs. They're lining up smokes already. This probably will be a B play off the bat.
Yep, as fast as possible. Nico, Rain, and Keo all inside of the B site. Twist has stand behind him.
Here we go.
Smoke to the window, flash over, Twist leads the way. Spots one running down the ramp already, but he's spotted up by Keo, who gets behind the boards. Nico then baited back in, able to take out two, and he's looking for another. He goes down, but JDM and Nitro, all that remains. JDM's trying his absolute best. He's level best, apparently, because he finds two of his own. It's down to Nitro. He's down to a 1 versus 2. There's a chance in it, but not anymore. Alu finds the kill that gives FaZe map number 1, 16-9. They take a lead in this series going into Train.
Back and forth game, I have to say, and it was looking pretty poor from FaZe. That was the kind of counter-strike they've been presenting earlier in the tournament. That's why they found themselves in the last round of the group stages, but they turned it around. Much better on the CT half. Very dynamic play, looking confident within themselves, and especially Rain. The fact he got behind them so many times as well. You could see Liquid a little bit out of their depth towards the end there.
Out of their depth, indeed. Deep Liquid. Can't swim.
Yeah, that's true.
But we go to Train, and as we mentioned, yes, FaZe has been struggling on it. We know it's a map that traditionally, when they are playing well, they can dominate, to be completely honest. So this series just became very, very difficult for Liquid. Remember, they went through the group stages 3-0. But now they have their toughest challenge yet. They need 2 straight to knock FaZe back and out of this event and to carry on into the semis. Remember that they would join Cloud9 if they were to do that, by the way. Second North American team to do it.
To be fair, I was impressed with Liquid. Their CT side to begin with actually looked pretty decent. We saw some big names turning up in the form of Twist. Had some big clutches as well. But overall, yeah, FaZe bouncing back and then quite a huge scoreline to finish things off as well. Train will be difficult for them, I think. They've had their ups and downs here against Optic especially. Only got 4 rounds in their CT half. They've had that kind of quiet, cagey counter-strike throughout this tournament, and we saw it at the beginning there. I just don't want to see it again. FaZe need to be overwhelming these guys and getting in their faces. They're much better in terms of like across the board, right? And they just look like they're scared of their opponents right now.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. They don't have the confidence they typically have, and hopefully that's something that gets addressed relatively soon. Hopefully that's something that they can really fix immediately. They're going to have to. Train as well, if Alu continues to be assertive.
Sure.
Quite assertive in that game. Could be a map that's, again, favorable to the AWP. We know as well the double up setup can be formidable. They're not scared to use it when they have to. FaZe doesn't go to it as much as other teams do, but it's definitely an option, specifically if Nico feels like he wants it, because he will. He will pick it up. And covering off the CT side with it will be amazing.
Well, I'm looking forward to talking more Counter-Strike with you, Matt, but for now, we're going to throw it over to the analyst. Alex, what are you saying?
I'm saying FaZe brought the heat and Liquid evaporate on Overpass. 16-9, just 2 rounds on that second half on their T side, and I'm joined none other than Freiburg and Spun to walk us through that one. Now, Chad, just set the scene for what could have been a fantastic first map. Liquid, however, unable to make anything happen on their T side. I feel like we should almost start the discussion with where they hit that wall.
I think the 7 rounds they got in the row was the highlight for them in the whole game, right? Obviously, that's where the majority of their rounds came from. And I don't think that they necessarily did anything super well. Like, they were hitting their shots. Stan had some good multi-frags. Everybody was contributing when they had to. But it looked like FaZe were a little bit timid. It didn't look like they were... They could have been a lot more disrespectful, I suppose, and actually taken the jewels. You saw that transition in the second half, and they started being a lot more aggressive on the CT side, flanking constantly. Yeah. And when the guys from Liquid aren't establishing proper map control, when they're just going like 3 or 4 guys to one area, and you're able to push around and have confident plays, you're always going to get information and be able to flank them, and we saw Rain do that time and time again.
Yeah, and of course, Adam, you set the scene so beautifully about what FaZe can do over on that first half and what they could have done over in the T side. Now, where do you think that timidness came from? I mean, you didn't get to see necessarily exactly what you asked for.
No, well, I think Rain was the key player here in this game. I mean, both as T here, we see some beautiful frags from him. But I would point out the CT side of where Rain just had no one to control him. Look, he was coming from behind like 3 or 4 times from long, while Liquid, it felt like they were scared. It felt like they didn't take the map control needed to do an execute, and they were kind of like stuck in toilets or a short and just waiting for like, oh, what are we doing? And Rain just walked up behind them. For me, I think that Liquid needed to have a more balls. Just take long control, take mid control, take underground or connector, whatever you call it, just to make sure, okay, now we have the map control, now we can execute the strategy, right? I didn't see anything of that, unfortunately, from the Liquid T side. I would like to have had them play more, quicker CS. They took way too long.
So in summary, Liquid got stuck in toilets and Rain brought the glory from behind. Is that kind of how we're talking about it?
We've got a few toilet issues backstage, don't we?
We certainly do. Now, Sponge, toilets aside for a moment, I saw you with something on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, I was just going to say, even though the FaZe guys were able to pick up both pistols, going into that second half, they won the pistol and then got force bought back, right? And that looked like, hey, maybe Liquid are going to, take the fight to them here in this second half. But it wasn't to be. They then got force bought back themselves. And that's you playing FaZe's game in that point, and they just ran away with it, locking down bomb sites with relative ease. Even though the scoreline 16-9, it's not a huge blowout. It just felt like it was in control of FaZe for the majority of the game.
Yeah, I mean, at the point where Liquid had 7 rounds, they lost the pistol round and FaZe were up 3-0. Then we saw Liquid just taking 7 rounds in a row. I was like, all right, we're in for another treat, right? Yeah. But then that round happened that all teams have to work on. The round where they lost against 4 pistols and a scout.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, that happens, but what happens afterwards is even more important. You shouldn't let yourself down. I mean, they had a full buy after that round, so there was a big weapon round coming up, and they lost it again, and they had to eco. We talk a lot about the economy in CS, right? And this is really what's happening. And it's also mental. Like, you shouldn't blame yourself, let yourself down by losing a round like that. You just have to step it up. I mean, help your teammates. Like, come on, boys, let's win this back, right? Yeah. But that didn't happen. FaZe after that round, they took the last 3 rounds and won the first half, which I thought that Liquid had in the bag.
Would you recommend taking a pause in those kind of scenarios? Like, those rounds can be crushing, right? That's one of those rounds where I think if you take the pause, get everyone level-headed, and then you can go into it, even if you don't change the way that you're going to approach anything, you don't throw in a curveball, at least you give everyone that 30 seconds just to calm down. Because you don't want to go into it, thinking, oh, it's his fault, or thinking I messed up, and you just give yourself a chance to have your coach get in the ear, maybe crack a joke, lighten the mood, and get back on with things. Because at that point, you're bang on. They were in such a good stead to go for a really strong half. It was only 1 round. It was a small blunder in the scheme of things, and that kind of stuff you can't let it spiral out of control.
No, exactly.
Isn't there a team, in fact, NIP, when there was a very serious and clinical approach to the rounds like that, when you've got like an anti-force buy round ahead of you or an anti-half buy, whatever you want to call them, not necessarily an eco, of course, mentioning scouts and all that lark, but there is a mindset that needs to be engaged, right? I mean, losing a round like that is nothing more than a mistake, right? I mean, errors have to happen for a round to be lost like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's CSGO. It happens in CSGO. Pistols are super strong. Even the scout, even though it's nerfed, it's still strong. Yeah. You just have to, you have to accept that rounds happen. You even do it to other teams, and you have to let it go and continue playing.
Perfect. And we're going to continue playing this playoff game. That's right, we're in our quarterfinals, and this time, FaZe and Liquid will be meeting on Train. Our next map, North Americans seem to be thriving on it. We'll see if Liquid can replicate some of the success of their countrymen after our short break here at ESL One Cologne.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.